Joining us here on the show, no stranger to the program, head of JDV Productions and a busy guy this weekend up at Monadnock Speedway in New Hampshire. We are joined by Josh Vanada. Josh, welcome back to the show. How are you tonight?
Hey, doing well, guys. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it, Myles.
No problem. So you got a busy weekend up there at Monadnock this weekend. Double header for the Whelen Modified Tour with the Duel with the Dog 250 and the let's see if I'll get this right, the Cheshire County Clash. Is that correct, Josh?
I think I'd have to ask the locals, but when I was up there every week last year, I think it's Cheshire.
Cheshire. All right. So talk to us. What can fans expect this weekend up in Monadnock?
Well, we're looking forward to it. I mean, it's been 25 years, as I've learned, since the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour has had points races in consecutive days. Last time was either in late 1999 or 2000. And so we're going to have 2 points counting 200 lappers, which are serving as the second and third races in the Whelen Short Track Cup. This is our 4th year hosting the Cup in partnership with Whelen Engineering. And so far we've had 3 different champions. In addition to the Whelen Modified Tour and the Cup Championship event, we've also got a 100-lap race for the Granite State Pro Stocks, who are back on a JDV card for the first time in 2 years. They're going to race Saturday night along with the Pro Trucks, and we'll cap it off with fireworks. And then the NEMA and NEMA Light and the midgets, and the trucks will then join the Modified Tour on Sunday before the 200-lapper.
Well, I think Ben and I just looked at each other here, and neither one of us have plans for Sunday. So maybe a trip up to see Paul at Monadnock would be a good opportunity. Sounds like a lot of fun. Where can and obviously we've got to catch up on other things too. I don't want to put the horse before the cart, but where can fans get tickets for Saturday and Sunday?
Yep, so they're available on jdvproductions.com. Folks can go ahead and purchase them there by using the Ticket House app, and there's a link that'll direct you right to that. And they'll be available through Friday evening, so they can go over there. The links are also have been shared in all of our social posts this week on Instagram and Facebook.
Josh, you talk about 2 consecutive days with points races, first time in 25 years. How did that opportunity come about, and was this something that the Whelen Tour wanted to do, and you jumped to the opportunity, or how did this all come together?
Well, I mean, I think the saying is necessity is the mother of invention, right? And when we rained out on May 3rd, the options we had were not a lot, frankly. And this one kind of jumped out to me as a potential option. We called NASCAR and asked them to consider it, and then they checked in with some of the race teams, and it was met favorably. It's really a great deal for the teams that are competing in both days. You've got the Whelen Modified Tour and the Truck Series. There's one hotel stay, or you go up and you camp for the weekend, and they're getting paid 2 full purses. So no question, it's going to be demanding for the teams. We're going to have to leave the garage open later on Saturday night so they can make some adjustments and start to nut and bolt their cars, and we'll open early on Sunday. But the conversations I had with race teams at Seekonk when I was there was very positive around it, and some have suggested, and I don't know that I'm ready to plant my flag in this camp yet, but some have suggested that things like this could be the future of the Modified Tour to really help to mitigate some expenses and generate some excitement. This is the first time in a quarter century this has happened, and it's something that's different, and there is a lot of enthusiasm around it. I know if I was a race fan, this is something I'd want to do.
Well, Josh, I'm excited to go out and be a part of it. And I will say, I bet you Sunday morning in the pits is going to be very busy with all those teams doing like changeover from the night before. So I think it's going to be, if you have the opportunity of getting there early and watching that, that's going to be pretty cool too.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the garage will certainly be busier than it historically is for the reason you mentioned. The teams normally have a week to prepare between races, and they're not even going to have 24 hours. They're going to basically have somewhere about 14 hours from the time they get off the racetrack to the time they need to get back on it.
So for those who might not have caught you the first time on the show, you've got JDV Productions, and things are going pretty well for you. Talk to us a little bit about the production aspect of things and how that kind of differs from the role that you're also playing at Monadnock, if it's kind of under the same umbrella.
Yeah, so, I mean, this year we got back to doing what we had done in previous years, which is to go in and lease racetracks and produce Whelen modified tour events. Last year we ran Monadnock. We leased it for the year and ran the weekly series and the full schedule and everything. And I think, what I learned through that was that I really like special events, and I think that's where we're at our best. So we got back into that this year, and we really doubled down on making our event special. I didn't anticipate having a doubleheader, but now that we do, we've really put a lot of effort into making it exciting. There's going to be school bus rides on Sunday afternoon, so we're going to bring the school bus out full of kids during Whelen Modified Tour driver introductions, and they'll be out there for that. And then give the command to start the engines. We've got the fireworks going to go off on Saturday night, courtesy of USNE Power. And then, of course, like I mentioned before, this is the fourth year we've run the Whelen Short Track Cup. And that's generated a lot of enthusiasm. This year is the most condensed it's happened. It's basically happening in a 6-week span from the time that the JNR Precast 150 happened at Seekonk in June to us capping it off with 2 consecutive races. But, these are the types of things we think that we're really good at. Fans have responded well to that we've offered. And, it's what's fun for us. So that's what we're going to keep doing.
Do you guys do any like throw show stuff up in Monadnock, kind of how Seekonk does theirs, or what are some of the other special events that Monadnock has to offer?
Yeah, so Monadnock's stuff that they're running this year, I think they've got a couple of MRS races that they're having. I think one's already passed, and another one's coming up in August. They've obviously got our events. They just had their traditional Firecracker 100, which is a 100-lap race for their headlining modified division there. I know they had this 350 Super Modifieds that just happened, and then they've got some Triple Crown stuff that's going on. I'm not as familiar with their schedule this year, obviously, not being up there and involved like we were last year. Last year we leased and operated the racetrack, whereas this year the only time I'll be there actually is from Friday to Sunday night.
Josh, after you get through these events and you learn from them and you start planning for the next year, how do you go about the thought process of getting it better than this year's? You know what I mean? Because every year it improves in my mind when I look at it. It's got to be a lot of work.
I appreciate it. I mean, we take that compliment and receive that. So, we're always looking to get better. It's the way I'm wired, honestly. I mean, anybody who's hung around with me for any period of time knows I'm intense, and I want to get better all the time. It doesn't matter what it is. But what I do for a living is, I actually coach businesses and salespeople and help them to get better at what they do. So, for us, it's just the relentless pursuit of making things 1% better every time. And some of that's event formats. And some of it, I think, actually is knowing when you have something really good and continuing to figure out ways to tell better stories around it. And I think that's a lot of what we're looking at as we look forward is increasing the promotional value, including more video content, telling more stories of the drivers, and promoting the series that are supporting us at these events. And also, I think one thing I'm looking at in the future is what can happen around the racetrack that would enhance the events, things like concerts, having, cookouts or luau's with the race teams or things like that when you have 2-day events like this. I think those types of things just enhance the value of what you have to offer, and it gives it really that community aspect feel that we want. I know Monadnock they've increased the number of camping spots that they're offering for the race, I think, 3 times already. And they've got a record camping crowd already signed up and reserved for camping spots. Indicators for that are good, but I think it's always looking at the small things. And, it's always the case, Paul, I think, where if you can tame your ego enough to listen, the people who are coming in now will tell you exactly what you need to do to give them a better experience. And so we really try to build good relationships with people who will give us honest feedback and who have a good understanding of both what it is we're trying to accomplish and what the race fan wants.
Josh Vanada from JDV Productions joining us here in our In the Turn interview tonight. One more time, Josh, all the details for this weekend, so folks want to join you up in Monadnock, they can.
Saturday night, we got a 3-division program headlined by the Whelen Modified Tour, Granite State Pro Stocks, and the Pro Trucks. That will cap it off all with fireworks, and then it'll be the final race of the Whelen Short Track Cup on Sunday afternoon with, again, the Whelen Modified Tour, NEMA Lights, and the Pro Truck Challenge again. It'll be 675 laps of feature racing. Tickets and more information are available at jdvproductions.com.